New information also emerging about a riot at Donovan State Prison that prompted a lockdown and huge medical response.
The Menendez brothers, who killed their parents, are now housed in the same unit of a San Diego prison.
Donovan State Prison is home to some infamous prisoners, including the Menendez brothers. Sirhan, who assassinated Senator Robert Kennedy.
Senator Kennedy had been shot.
And Tex Watson, a well-known member of the Manson family.
Manson said, hey, I want you to go out and kill these people, to go up to this place and kill everyone that is there.
Within the split of two detectives coming inside of the room and saying, hey, we're investigating you for a murder, the blood just dropped, like, a murder for what?
How have you been grasping that idea, you know, that this is where you will spend the rest of your life? What does that feel like to you? How are you? Good. I'm here. Is this the staff entrance?
This is the gatehouse.
How do I get to the staff entrance?
Where you gotta go to?
I am going, let me see.
You got an appointment or what?
Yeah, I'm filming, but like they know I've done all that.
You must be going here. Is it about...
It said, please plan to arrive to the facility and meet at the staff entrance building at 12 o'clock p.m.
For?
It doesn't, I mean... It's,
why is it for? What's the event for?
I'm filming for the LGBT, they're doing like a fair or something here.
Right,
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm a little nervous. Just don't know what to expect, but this has been a long time in the coming, and I'm so excited to talk with the residents here about, you know, their experience here, about their life beforehand, their dreams for the future. I think it's going to be really, really interesting and something so unique, but it's just a little nerve-wracking because the time is so crunched, and, you know, I'm in a prison, which is a new setting for me, and everything is so regulated, and it just feels like a big deal, but I'm excited.
For the most part, I mean, you know, yeah, you show this and like the gate moving and stuff like that.
Okay, cool.
You can kind of do this portion walking in if you want.
Okay. After about 2 more checkpoints, I believe, we were inside the prison yard. The prisoners, or residents as they like to call them, were about to be outside for the yard time, so we quickly hurried inside to meet the residents that I would be talking to.
And let me introduce you to Matt Cullen.
Nice to meet you.
Unique, Savvy, Craig.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be here and to talk with you. Thank you so much for doing this. I was in focus mode. I knew that we only had about an hour or so for me to sit down with these 4 residents and to try to get to the heart of each of their story. I had my work cut out for me, but I felt so ready. Are they allowed to hold on to like the mic and pass it, or are they not? Okay, perfect. So I'll make sure. I'm trying to abide by all the rules. You know, like all these times. Thank you all for talking with me. I've been so excited for today for so long, and I'm just excited to talk with you and meet you and get to hear your stories. Can we go down the line and say our names again, and maybe how long we've been here for, if you're willing to say that?
So my name is Craig. I've been at RJD for 1 year, and I've been incarcerated for 16, and I go home in 2 months.
My name's Savi, and I've been at RJD since early 2022, but I've been incarcerated for almost 12 years.
My name is JC. I've been at Donovan for almost a year in a few days. It'll be a year. And I've been incarcerated for over 16 years.
I'm Unique. I've been here since 2022 or 21-ish. I've been incarcerated for about 16 years. Yeah, that's it.
I don't gotta ask your name again because I remember it's Unique.
Yes, it is Unique.
I'm guessing you thought of the name because you're unique?
Very much so. I think I'm different. I think I grew up in a very unique situation, so why not change the name to Unique?
Do you want to talk about you growing up in a unique situation?
Yeah, I can go down the road a little bit, and I might skip a few things, but I'll go down the road. I grew up in the foster system at like a super young age as an infant. I really didn't know like my family. I thought the people who I grew up with was like my family. So once my grandmother died, it was just like a shock to me. She was like everything. Like, I thought she was my mom at the time, so I didn't know anything. But once I ended up going to like a foster home, it kind of, the realization of everything set in, and I was just like, oh. I was like, who's this lady? And she's like, oh, I'm your social worker. Would you like to live with your grandmother's kids? And I'm like, I mean, well, that's the only people I know, so of course. A lot of assault was happening there inside of the house because, like, our grades was everything. So once my brother got assaulted by the father, and my sister got assaulted by the father, some things happened. A fork came out, and it's not like it's funny, but like, I know that they went through a lot. Like, even though I kept my grades up, like, to see them experience like abuse was just like unfair. So my brother tried to stab, I guess, like the father with the son with like the fork. They separated us. That right there was just like, well, where's my sister? Like, where'd you put my brother, type of thing. Like, so I'm grasping for like friendships. I've lost everything. I lost my sister, my grandma, my brother. So like the foundation was just gone. I was running away, like AWOLing every day. Like, when I say every day, police will pull me over. Hey, you need to go back. And I'm like, I don't want to go back. I'm scared. Like, I want to talk to my social worker. At this point, I'm becoming more like that standout foster child, like, or statistical, like, system needs a higher level of care or attention. So they send me to a placement. I get to the placement. Now, mind you, it's almost the same as prison. Everything is almost identical. You can't have TVs in placements. So when my social worker got there, she was like, hey, you can't have your TV here. And I'm like, yeah, no, I want my TV. Like, just because I'm in placement doesn't mean that I'm the one that's doing wrong. They've been to elsewhere, but to fit in, I just said, you know what? Okay, keep the TV. But you put me in a room full of young 15, 16 Hispanics that live that lifestyle of gangbanging. So my first, like, introduction to, like, what a 211 is, like, I didn't know what that was. I thought, okay, we're just going inside of this place. Like, let's just go grab some beers and run.
What is a 211?
A 211 is like a robbery. And it's strange because they gave the drink that they wanted was called a 211. It's like some type of beer. So it went down a road of, like, following, trying to find who I am. Like, can I do this? Can I hang out with gang members and go steal beers out of store? And that slowly, there's a realization, got slapped very hard, and it was just like, yeah, I ran away again. So we're going on like 5 or 6 different group homes now. So they take me out of placement. Placement wasn't for me. They put me back into another group home. And I'm like, you're gonna get me an apartment? Me? Like, I AWOL a lot, are you sure? They're like, we're gonna give it to you, okay? And it was a total failure. Like, I thought I was mature. I thought that I was ready for it, and you can't put a 16-year-old, like, I can't say, I can't speak for all 16-year-olds, but 6-year-old with no family ties. My first, like, store run, I think I got 5 or 6 cases of sodas, hundreds of, like, Pop-Tarts, and just too much. Everything was sweets. I ended up getting, like, a kidney infection. It was a lot. Partying in the middle of the night, jumping off the top tiers of the pool, and it was a party. So I got kicked out of there. The way that the system kicked me out was in a way of, like, total disregard to, like, kids, like youth. They didn't say, they were like, hey, Unica, you just turned 18. We don't have any money to give you. Do you have any relatives that you can go with? Relatives? you guys should have prepped me for this like 2 or 3 years ago. But it kicked me out, just onto the streets. And my first thing that I sought out comfort was I need to graduate. I need to go to college. And believe it or not, like, I'm homeless, but I'm still doing everything that I need to do. But at what cost? I'm going into people's houses to stay warm. Does anybody live there? No. But it was the point, like, I didn't know what to do at 18. So I just started, oh, let me go in here. Like, oh, someone moved in today, so I can't sleep here anymore. I even slept on top of rooftops at times. So it's been like a rough journey for me, like, growing up. I think my first crime on accident, but through the comfort of needing to sleep, needing to be able to go to college, to try to be something. Like, it was extremely hard. So one day I'm just sitting out on the corner, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to just go in this house just to get me something to eat. Like, they left me in such a way, like, I don't know what to do. Like, I need to eat. So I just went into a house. I'm like, oh, this is cool. I can watch TV in here too. Like, let me just live the life of who knows whose house this is. I became comfortable with it, like, to the point, like, I'm sitting on couches just eating, but, like, not thinking of the consequence. Like, it's burglary. No, I'm thinking of, I'm hungry. You know, the system didn't tell me you can't go do this, so I'm doing it because I'm hungry. Like, I just need to eat. I need to be able to shower. I need to be able to go to school. I just continued on that same path until one day I got a detective saying, hey, you're indicted for like 200 homes. And I'm like, whoa, calm down. Calm down. I may have been in a few because I was hungry, but I didn't, like, to me, I'm like, I didn't burglarize anything. But they're like, were you eating? Were you taking things? I say, yeah, I had to provide for myself. And they're like, well, that's actually burglary. And that was the road of just, it got hectic.
My gosh, I feel like it's such unfortunate because it's not, in my mind, it's like, well, you had to do what you had to do to survive. You know what I mean? Of course. And your upbringing and your lack of family, it's just like you were dealt bad cards, you know?
Bad card. And it was just like, okay, this is just like being in a freaking group home. It's just more boys. Let's do this. It was like, okay, it's still the system. I'm still governed by the government at the very end of the day. Like, okay, the government was providing me food when I was in the group home. I'm okay with this. And I just took it from there, and I think I got out for like a few months of being 18. Got my apartment, got my college, did everything right. And I got investigated for another burglary and my current crime of a murder. And I never saw the streets after that. Like, it was over within the split of two detectives coming inside of the room and saying, hey, we're investigating you for a murder. The blood just dropped, like, a murder for what? And it was just like, well dang, I'm not even 19 yet. Like, all my birthdays, 18, 19, all the way up to current, were all started right there. So, like, I never left the system. I continued the system all the way into the system. And I meet this individual, and I notice, I'm like, wow, she looks like has a positive program. Like, I'm hanging out with gang members to just fit in. I'm still trying to find myself. And I'm like, how is this individual hanging out with the same people I'm hanging out with, but more positive? 6 AA degrees. Like, I need to get there. So I ended up circling myself around this individual, and I've gotten #1 in art contests. I've gotten GEDs. I'm in college. I'm doing the new ASL program here. So it took a bigger outlook to get right, but I think I'll get there. I think I'll get there one of these days.
Wow, such a testament to, you are who you surround yourself with.
Yes.
How does that make, let me turn this camera on you. How does that make you feel to hear that?
Responsible. I feel a sense of responsibility. I feel a sense of like friendship. Like this is somebody that I've known for years and years. I think I've known Unique since like 2017, different prisons, Prisons for the transgender community are like really small. You always see the same people. Seeing that I could watch her transition from like gang activity on a yard to going and earning a GED, like that's freaking dope. I'm really proud of her for doing that. I take pride in her accomplishments, like for real. She's a talented artist, like really good at school, limits herself a lot, but she's like super good at it. So I'm happy. Like at least I could affect one person, Hopefully more I can affect. I really hope so. I believe that I can, but at the very end of the day, like if I died right now, like I helped one person at least. Makes me happy.
How much more time do you have in here?
Oh, so I ended up taking that murder charge to trial, and even though the jury believed like, oh, hey, this individual looks extremely young, there's no way that this individual could have did it. I ended up getting convicted of life without the possibility of parole, and it held the death penalty. So you can only imagine, like, my face and, like, the comfort of, like, I almost passed out in the court when they said, hey, so this is a death penalty case. I said, I'm only 18. What do you mean, death penalty? I said, I've never been in trouble. How am I already at the death penalty already? They're like, well, if there were circumstances that happened, then you will be getting the death penalty. So I ended up going to trial, and they gave me life without the possibility of parole.
So that means you're here for forever, no matter what.
Unfortunately, yes. And for the first lot of my years in here, I kind of normalized myself around it. Like, I even told her, why do I go to school? I don't have a reason. In truth, like, I just do it just because, like, one day you never know. Anything can happen. But I would be ready. I'll be ready for it for sure. A couple AA degrees will be nice. So maybe one day.
How have you been grasping that idea, that this is where you will spend the rest of your life? What does that feel like to you?
It's sad, but I mean, I have my friend. At the end of the day, like, we've been road dogs for years. So it's just like, again, it's a part of the system. So it's easy for me to adapt to the system, and them providing for me for all these years. It's kind of hard to just be like, like, how could I survive? I mean, it's easy. It's extremely easy.
Do you resent your upbringing?
Yes, a lot. I feel like they should have did more. I still currently feel like they should do more for any foster youth. I feel like a lot of the funds or the parents hold on to the funds, and they give it more to their kids than us. Like, I went from a 4.0 student to, oh, hey, you get a 4.0 for me, I'll give you some Jordans. Okay, I became the 4.0 student, and you gave your son the Jordans. So growing up with someone else getting the privileges that the parents are, oh, I'll give you this. It hurt over time. I became like, I did not like the law and how they like just did all foster youth. Like, it's not a good look. I think money should be put away for foster youth. Like, if I came in at an infant, had you been putting $25 into like a banking account for me instead of giving it to the foster parents, I would have walked away out of that group home with maybe 15 or 16,000. I would have been something different. Any foster youth would have did something different with their life if there's money that the state is saying, hey, we're going to take $25 out of that $700 that you guys give to those individuals in that situation. But they don't do it like that, and we never get to see funds. So yeah, the system has been very not generous with their support. I hope that kids growing up, like, seeing this video, like, actually take heed. Like, if you get into an IOP and they put you into your own apartment, take that $25, take all that money and throw it into some type of banking and let it grow. Whatever, anything you do at a young age, like, I would give that advice to go out, get the money, go and put it up. That way you don't end up in this situation to where you're actually comfortable with being in here. You don't see, like, what's ahead. Like, whoa, what do you see for the future? I don't know what the future holds. I know what unique holds today, and it's college, it's this individual, it's mental health, it's everything that I have right now.
This is the first episode of my time at Richard J. Donovan Correctional Facility. It was an experience unlike any other, and I hope you are subscribed so you don't miss out on the rest.